Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well today. A quick little invitation for all of you IB Economics students out there to head on over to bradcartwright.com, a website designed around the IB Economics curriculum with the express purpose of helping IB Economics students all around the world improve their performance, whether that be on an in-class quiz, a test, or ultimately the IB exam. All right, my friends, and to give you a little look and feel for what it's like over there, enjoy this free preview. All right, now that we are moving on to our unit on government intervention, what we need to do is look at real world issue number 2 that comes to us from the IB Economics, brain, what are they? The IB Economics, chief examiners, the deep thinkers of IB Economics. They've given us those 6 real life questions. Remember what they were? Yeah, they are the underpinnings of all of our economic studies. Okay, so we had real world issue number 1 that had to do with consumers and producers. And now we're going to take a look at real world issue number 2, which is going to be the backdrop, or maybe like the overarching question, the essential question, the driving question of inquiry for our studies of government intervention, market failure, and included in market failure are the notions of market power, which is these 4 market structures that HL students will look at, which are monopoly, monopolistic competition, oligopoly, and perfect competition. Okay, so this question is the driving idea behind our thoughts. And the question is, ready, here it is, when are markets unable to satisfy important economic objectives? When? And what are those objectives? And then, does government intervention help? Okay, government intervention is like a parent coming in and messing up with your life, intervening in your life. Everything's fine, all of a sudden, boom, right? And sometimes you want them to intervene, and sometimes you don't want them to intervene, and actually you want to choose when you want your parents to intervene in your life. But you can't always choose that because the government or your parents might come in and intervene because they tell you that they have more knowledge than you, or blah, 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 or they're looking out for the whole household because they got to take care of one part of the house instead of, and maybe that's a sacrifice to you, just like having 2 kids, right? Consumers and producers, the 2 children of what? Of a country, and the governments are the parents, and so they got to take care of each one of those kids, and it doesn't necessarily always, if the government intervenes for consumers, that might not be good for producers. If they make minimum wages, that helps consumers because those are the workers, but it doesn't help producers because their costs go up, okay? So, real world issue number 2, when are markets unable to satisfy important economic objectives? And then, does government intervention help? And the types of government intervention that we're going to look at are indirect taxes, per unit subsidies, quotas, price controls, price floors, price ceilings, minimum wages, and then also just the overriding influence of government when it looks at the different market structures underneath market power of, say, a monopoly. Should the government intervene? Are monopolies sometimes good? What about an oligopoly? What about monopolistic competition? Should the government intervene in that regard? Okay, so there's the driving question. Now, in order to understand that question better, the IB has given us these conceptual understandings, and the conceptual understandings are that the market mechanism may result in socially undesirable outcomes than do not achieve efficiency, environmental sustainability, and or equity. The market mechanism is a fancy way of saying the free market. We all know that the free market doesn't necessarily create efficiency, it doesn't necessarily create sustainability, it doesn't necessarily create equity. So who's in charge of fixing it? The parents. Who are the parents of an economy? The government, okay? Market failure, that is this notion that the market fails to have this perfectly efficient outcome. So in market failure, this results in an allocative inefficiency and welfare loss, okay? So that's related to efficiency. Resource overuse, that has to do with what? Sustainability, resulting in challenges to environmental sustainability. Inequity, what does that do? That has to do resulting in inequalities, which of course has to do with equity, okay? So it's all tied up, okay? So governments have policy tools which can affect market outcomes, and government intervention is effective, to varying degrees, in different real world markets, okay? So man, this is getting a little complex, yeah, but these conceptual understandings, these are statements. Don't get stressed about this stuff. These are statements for you to understand why it is that they're asking those questions, or what is the knowledge underneath that question. The knowledge underneath the questions of what governments, when government's getting involved in the marketplace, have to do with efficiency, sustainability, and equity. Efficiency, sustainability, and equity, okay? Remember that. And if you look at the yellow words on there, efficiency, sustainability, equity, right? Intervention, those are some of these 9 central themes or 9 central concepts of IB economics. And as a reminder, here they go again: scarcity, choice, efficiency, equity, economic well-being, sustainability, change, interdependence, and intervention, okay? I bring those up just so you know, like, this is all tied together. And one thing you have to say about the IB economics curriculum and the IB in general: it is an exceptionally thoughtful curriculum. And there you have it, my friends, the number 2 real life issue that we will look at in the next few units of government intervention, market failure, and market power. We'll see you there.